John Travolta first attracted the attention of the public, starring in the images of skillful dancers, which allowed him to permanently put his name in the lists of the best actors. Although further attempts to realize in more serious and dramatic projects have sometimes proved a failure, the Hollywood star and now known and loved by fans around the world. Childhood and youth. John Joseph Travolta was born on February 18, 1954, in Inglewood, America. He was the youngest of 6 children in the family and grew up with 3 sisters and 2 brothers, who always took care of him and spoiled him. The boy's father, Salvatore, was of Italian descent. As a young man, he dreamed of building a career in American soccer, but because he had to provide for a large family, he went into the automobile tire trade. Helen's mother had Irish roots. She was an actress and singer, but made her living teaching acting. Travolta's family was creative. His parents encouraged their children's interest in the art of the stage, and his father even chipped in wooden scaffolding for them. Not surprisingly, 3 of the heirs wished to link life with the acting profession. Among them was John. His interest in acting arose in the boy when he was 5 years old after watching a film by Federico Fellini. Later, he was first entrusted a role in the school play, but it was so small that there were not even words. But the support of his family inspired Travolta to continue on his way to the top. In parallel, John was engaged in dancing. He demonstrated grace and plasticity. For a while even studied with the famous Gene Kelly. At the age of 16, the young man decided to drop out of school in order to devote himself entirely to his beloved business. According to the artist, he could not find common ground with his peers, although he tried to share their hobbies, but they could not understand his desire every night to attend acting school. With the support of his family, Travolta moved to New York, where he began acting on stage and soon received an invitation to Broadway. But in this city, the young man did not stay long. Soon he went to Los Angeles, where he was able to realize himself as a movie actor. Movies. The performer's screen debut was in early 1970. During this period, he played mostly cameo roles on television, starring in such projects as Emergency and The Rookies. In 1976 came out the film Carrie, which is the adaptation of the novel by Stephen King. John has decided to participate in the shooting because he dreamed of working with director Brian De Palma and knew that the tape will attract attention. That's what eventually happened. But the interest of the public came later, after the picture Saturday Night Fever. Travolta masterfully showed the character of a young boy, a frequenter of discos, a typical image for young people at that time, which earned him a nomination for Oscar. To get ready for the shooting, the young performer did not spare himself in the dance hall, honing his every movement. He spent about 9 months like that and ended up looking professional and technical. Rumor has it that John even had a hand in the creation of one of the numbers. Released soon, the musical Grease, which became one of the most successful paintings in the track record of the American, many call the beginning of the ascent to the heights of Hollywood. The partner of the actor became Olivia Newton-John. With her he demonstrated not only dancing, but also the vocal talent. An attempt to move away from the image of dancing handsome was shooting a political thriller Blowout, where Travolta again had the luck to work with Brian De Palma. During the creation of the tape, actor suffered from insomnia, which he suffered from childhood, and to overcome it, John has chosen an unusual way, playing the violin. After the premiere, the performer's work was rated cool, and only years later the film gained cult status. And then the celebrity's career went downhill, and Grease began to be called its pinnacle. Travolta did not want to put up with such an arrangement, continuing to shoot. Among the successful works of that period is the melodrama Perfect, where the actor appeared in a pair with Jamie Lee Curtis. The basis for the plot were articles printed in Rolling Stone. John's former glory was helped by Princess Diana. During her visit to the United States, she danced with the actor, after which their photos were printed by the international media, and interest in the performer's work increased significantly. Later in interviews, he called this moment one of the most memorable in his life and dreamed of experiencing it again. But, according to rumors, the royal wanted to dance not at all with the artist, but with Mikhail Baryshnikov. In 1989, the screens came out the comedy Look Who's Talking, where the action is accompanied by off-screen commentary on behalf of a young child. Duet with Kirstie Alley so pleased with the audience that Travolta has repeatedly returned to the role in the sequels. But the main project in his filmography was still ahead. According to John, agreeing to star in Pulp Fiction, he did not count on success. Initially in his place and had all planned to call Michael Madsen, with whom Quentin Tarantino worked on Reservoir Dogs. But when he refused, the director had to urgently look for a replacement, and he called Travolta, giving him room for improvisation. As a result, the movie became a cult hit, and the actor's dance with Uma Thurman went down in history of world cinema. His performance was rewarded with Oscar and BAFTA nominations, and his character Vincent Vega came out so memorable that they later started making memes with him. On the wave of success, Tarantino was asked to direct the comedy Get Shorty. He declined, but advised John to pay attention to the role of Chili Palmer. Writer Elmore Leonard, from whose book the project was filmed, was so excited that he decided to write a sequel. It came out 10 years later, in 2005, under the title Be Cool. For the project, the actor again danced with Thurman, but the number was significantly different from that of Pulp Fiction. During this time, the actor managed to star in many other films. In the fantasy Michael, he appeared in the image of the Archangel Michael, one of the most revered messengers of God. Audiences and critics received the work with enthusiasm, which ensured big box office receipts. In the sci-fi thriller Face Off, Travolta participated in the company of Nicolas Cage, with whom he shared two characters, adopting each other's behavior. The public praised Travolta's efforts, with a rating of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Time Out Weekly ranked the film among the 100 best action movies, and the American Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films gave the film 2 awards. Later, the performer participated in Terrence Malick's war drama The Thin Red Line. He played a small role, working in the company of such illustrious colleagues as Woody Harrelson, George Clooney, Sean Penn, Adrian Brody, and Jared Leto. The project has been awarded 7 Oscar nominations. In 2000, Travolta acted as a producer of the film Battlefield Earth, where he also played the main role. The adaptation of the novel of the same name by the founder of Scientology, Ron Hubbard, did not bring success to the creators. Moreover, the picture for a few years became a record holder for the number of awards Golden Raspberry. They were 7 out of 9. This result is often referred to by fans as a disaster in the professional career of the American actor. Much more successful was the musical comedy Hairspray, in which the artist reincarnated as a woman. In an interview, John admitted that he liked the role, and with the work on it there were no difficulties because he grew up surrounded by his sisters, and there was a wife who helped with advice. Critics also reacted favorably to the tape, nominating the performer for a Golden Globe. In subsequent years, the star's career had both ups and downs, but he was never without the support of loyal fans. Travolta starred in American Crime Story and Gotti. In 2020, he took a short break from filming due to the pandemic and a family tragedy, but he stayed visible. Journalists managed to capture the actor in Budapest, where he enjoyed performances by opera singers from Azerbaijan. Aviation. Travolta adores airplanes. The actor admitted that the passion for aviation has carried through life, becoming interested in it at the age of 5 years. As a child, the future actor dreamed of becoming a pilot, collected model airplanes, and could watch for hours the exercises at the United States Air Force Base, located near his home. The acting profession allowed John to fulfill his childhood dream. He received his pilot's license, and on his first royalties he was able to afford a small plane. As his popularity grew, the star's aircraft fleet grew. It included several private jetliners, which he named after his children. And near his luxurious home, the public favorite had equipped a runway. But in 1992, an old passion nearly cost the actor his life. His plane was struck by lightning, and during an emergency landing it almost collided with a Boeing 727 US Air. Fortunately, serious consequences were avoided, and Travolta was soon back behind the wheel. When the earthquake happened in Haiti, the performer organized the collection of aid for the victims and made several flights on his plane to deliver humanitarian supplies, doctors, and volunteers to the affected areas. In 2017, it was revealed that Travolta had donated a Boeing 707 to an Australian society dedicated to restoring rarities. This statement was published on the official website of the Hollywood celebrity. The actor noted that the plane had been flown by the Australian airline Qantas since 1964, but the aircraft was later converted for private use. Bob de la Hanty, president of HARS, said in an interview with Australia's Allure Mercury that the team is ready to conduct the necessary procedures to restore the airliner. In 2022, another significant event happened in the biography of the Hollywood star. He received a license to fly the 737 aircraft, which he informed the subscribers of his personal blog. Personal life. Ever since John became famous, his personal life has caused increased interest among numerous fans. In 1976, the actor began an affair with a colleague in the film The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, Diane Hyland, who was 18 years older. The Emmy-winning actress played the mother of Travolta's character in the film. The relationship was short-lived and ended with the death of the artist, who was diagnosed with breast cancer. John took the loss hard. For a long time did not let anyone into his life, and the press wrote about his problems with alcohol. Later talked about the passion of the celebrity Catherine Deneuve and Brooke Shields, who talked about their short-lived affair in a memoir. But Travolta found true love when he met Kelly Preston. At the time they met, the actress was married and the actor was in a relationship, but feelings gradually flared up between them. In early 1990, the lovers were married. The marriage produced 2 children, son Jet and daughter Ella Blue. In 2009, family happiness of the Hollywood star was broken by tragedy. An heir died. The cause was an epileptic seizure, during which the young man fell and hit his head. He could not be saved. After that, John and Kelly chose to retreat into the shadows to survive the grief together. They devoted time to each other, consulted with specialists in family relationships, and soon returned with the unexpected announcement: Preston was pregnant again. She gave birth to the actor's son Benjamin Hunter Caleo. No sooner had fans to rejoice for the star couple, as in 2012, the network was rocked by unexpected news. Travolta's former masseur accused him of sexual harassment. Lawyers for the performer managed to defend the honor of award, but in the future, in the press every now and then there were rumors about the performer's sexual orientation. And the pilot, who worked with him in the past, even claimed that they had been involved in an intimate relationship for 6 years. John continued to refute the rumors, finding support in his family. He repeatedly admitted that he could have had a more successful career, become a director or producer, but then he would have had to sacrifice the time he spent with his family. Newfound harmony shattered. Another tragedy. Travolta's wife died, whose life by an evil irony of fate also took cancer. Kelly fought breast cancer for several years, but her body could not cope with the disease. After burying his beloved wife, the actor focused on raising his children. His daughter Ella Blue followed in her parents' footsteps and also became an actress. She repeatedly starred in movies together with her father. John Travolta now. The Hollywood star's career continues, despite rumors of its end. In 2022, John pleased fans with the release of a new project, the action film Paradise City, where he starred in a pair with Bruce Willis. The film became the long-awaited world premiere.